If you do have if you're cold at all, you can put a blanket over you for this first part. And if you do have a pillow or something you can use a little later, yoga block is perfect, or a yoga bolster is even better. You can grab that as well. So this is an active restore class. We will start lying down on our backs. And bring your hands to your lower abdomen. And just start breathing to the belly. Inhaling to expand your breath toward the belly button, maybe even below your belly button. And on your exhalation, a strong contraction through the lower abdominals. Push a little bit of breath out. Do 2 more breaths like that into the belly. And we'll call this the belly or the abdominal cavity or the abdominal pelvic cavity. So you want to get the breath to move toward your pelvis as well, or that feeling of fullness to move into the pelvis. And again, every exhalation is a strong engagement through the core. On your next inhale, bring your awareness up to your floating ribs. You could bring your hands up to your ribs if you'd like to as well. Your thumbs can come to the back ribs, fingers to the front. The palms will touch the sides of your ribs. Begin inhaling deeply into this part of your body. And each time you exhale, hug the sides of your torso toward midline. Expand the left and the right side away from each other. Feel that expansion. And on your exhale, knit the left and the right side back toward your spine. So really strong contraction to hug your ribs as close to the spine as possible. And then notice too that you can inhale to the back and the front of your ribs so that your back ribs move closer to the ground or into the ground. The front of your ribs move further to the ceiling. And on the exhalation, of course, the front and the back of your rib cage hug in toward each other. Do 2 more like that. Take a huge inhale. Expand to the left and the right, the front and the back now. Pulling each rib away from the one above it and below it on the inhale. And on your exhalation, pulling all of them back together, back towards center line and back toward the spine. Now bring your attention up to your chest. And we'll call this the heart center or the chest. Even though we know that this is also part of our thoracic cavity, this is our upper thoracic cavity. You can bring your hands up to your upper chest, thumbs to your shoulders. At least your forefingers pointing toward or feeling the soft part of the throat there as well. Even though we can't reach into the back of the body, remember we're still breathing into our back as well here. So as you inhale, take a deep breath into your chest, your upper back. Move the shoulders away from each other. Move the collarbone away from the soft, both sides of the collarbone away from the soft part of the throat. As you exhale, you're going to feel not a compression or not a caving in of your chest. Keep the chest wide. But do feel, again, that feeling of shoulder blades knitting toward the spine. Feel the collarbones, both sides of the collarbones shifting back in toward the soft part of the throat. Feel the upper ribs accordion back in toward each other as the exhale moves the breath out of the chest and the upper back. And when you're ready to inhale again, we are expanding in the opposite direction, right? Broadening across the chest, pulling the shoulder blades away from each other, filling up the upper ribs and the spaces between the upper ribs with breath. As you exhale again, engaging to empty out completely. Make sure that you are engaging your pectoral muscles on your exhale rather than on your inhale. Good, now with your eyes still closed, we're going to turn this into a 3-part breath with Bellomo, meaning that we're just going to pause and hold between each part. So we'll start with a very strong exhalation, exhaling all the air out of the body, really emptying out, holding empty. When you're ready to inhale again, you're going to inhale first into your lower abdomen, lower back. So right into the abdominal pelvic cavity, and then hold that, feeling 1/3 of the way full. Take a second inhale into the rib cage, your floating ribs, the front and the back and both sides. Pause and hold again. Feel 2/3 of the way full. Then inhale all the way up into your chest and your upper back, into the fronts and the backs of your shoulders. Pause and hold, feeling completely full of breath. When you're ready to exhale, exhale first from your chest, as though you're just emptying out your chest and your upper back. Hold again. Exhale from the second third, your floating ribs, front and back. Hold again. And now take one final exhale, really engage the abdominals. Push that last bit of breath out. Hold for a third time at the end of that exhalation. Let's do that much again. Inhale first into belly, lower back. Pause and hold, feeling 1/3 of the way full. Inhale into floating ribs, front, back, both sides. Hold again, feeling 2/3 of the way full. Inhaling all the way up into your chest, your upper back, your shoulder blade area. Pause and hold again, feeling completely full of breath. Your shoulders are relaxed and your neck muscles are relaxed. Exhale, empty first from the chest. Hold for a moment. Then empty from your ribs, your floating ribs. Hold again. Feeling just 1/3 of the way full now. And then one final exhale to really empty out the lower belly, lower back, even the pelvic cavity, emptying out strongly. Hold again, feeling completely empty. And begin again. Inhale first into the abdominal pelvic cavity. Hold. Lower thoracic cavity, floating ribs. Hold again. Upper thoracic cavity, chest, upper back. Hold again. Shoulders and neck relaxed, jaw and teeth unclenched. Exhale first from the chest. Pause. Then from your floating ribs. Pause again. And then from the lower abdomen. Pause for a third time, feeling completely empty. Now please keep this going in your own time and pace. Follow the rhythm of your breath. You can pause for as long as you would like to in between the thirds, right? All the way up and all the way down. Just make sure that at the very top of that in-breath, you feel completely full of breath, and at the very bottom of the out-breath, you feel completely empty. And we'll just do a few more rounds of this. Finish the round that you are on. Take 3 more rounds of this complete breath with Bellomo. Filling up 1/3 at a time, pausing between each third. Holding at the top as well before you start exhaling 1/3 of the way back down and pausing at the end of the exhale. Once you have taken 3 more rounds of your Ujjayi breath with this complete and active inhale, all the way up from the belly to the chest, all the way down from the chest back to the belly. I'll invite you to bring your knees, both of your knees, into your chest. And just rock side to side a few times. And once you have rocked side to side a few times, please allow your knees to move a little further away from you and let your arms come down alongside your torso. And you can either reach your arms directly out of the shoulders, just a little below the shoulders, or just keep them close in by the torso, or somewhere in between. And begin rocking your knees a little further away from you so that your knees are over your hips. After rocking side to side across the back of the pelvis, place the feet down to the floor and begin to move into more of a windshield wiper movement. Still just moving freely, finding a rhythm with your breath, and letting that breath determine how fast or how slow you move your legs side to side. For a little while, we will be moving through a continual movement practice, so we won't be holding long stretches for the first part of this practice. You want to be able to make sure you are warm before we take the deeper stretches. Even when we are stretching deeply, I want you to feel like there is still movement within each pose, right? Movement of breath, micro movements that are taking place within. Take one more time to each side, and then we'll take the feet firmly onto the ground. And when you are ready, let's place both feet flat to the mat. The knees will be about sit-bone distance apart, so your knees are lining up with your hip bones, your heels are lining up with your sit bones. You can always go a little wider or a little closer if you'd like. That's just, for me at least, where I feel the most stable. Take an inhale to go ahead and let your sacrum descend into the earth. And as you exhale, just scoop the pelvis off the floor, press the lumbar spine into the ground. Inhale, pelvis down, let your heart rise. Let your lower back also rise off the floor. Exhale, scoop the pelvis up and press the lumbar spine down. The small of your back and your thoracic spine are actually pressing down into the floor. Once again, inhale, sacrum down. The small of your back and your thoracic, at least your lower thoracic, arching easily, right? And exhale, scoop the pelvis up. Press the small of your back down. From here, inhale, peel the rest of your spine off the floor, moving up into a bridge pose. And exhale the spine back down to the floor slowly. You're going to place the lower thoracic spine first, and then your lumbar spine once you near the end of that, and then you're going to allow your sacrum, the back of the pelvis, to touch down. Once the back of your pelvis is touching, of course, the lumbar spine, the small of your back will arch away. Let's do that much again. Exhale, scoop the pelvis up, press the small of your back and thoracic spine down. Try to press the backs of your shoulders down as well. Inhale, begin to peel the rest of your spine from the lumbar to the lower thoracic, then the mid-thoracic and your upper thoracic off the floor. As you exhale, lower the part of your spine down that's between your shoulder blades. Do that one vertebra at a time. Then lower your mid-spine down, middle thoracic spine down, the part of your spine that's housed between the back of your floating ribs. And then you're going to place the lower thoracic spine onto the floor, one vertebra at a time, and then your lumbar spine. Now, once the lumbar spine touches, then let your sacrum drop down. And as that happens, you'll move into your neutral spine position, right? Where the back arches. One more time like that. Exhale to scoop the pelvis up. Small of the back and thoracic spine press down. Inhale, lumbar spine, lower thoracic, mid-thoracic, and upper thoracic. Come up off the floor. And right back down today. Exhale, upper thoracic. Do this one vertebra at a time to the best of your ability. You guys still here? Okay, I'm so sorry about that. I lost internet connection for a sec. All right. All right, we're back in town. We're back in business. All right, so from here, I'm not sure where I lost you, but we're going to go ahead and bring the hips up off of the ground now and walk your arms underneath you. I'll just have you full bridge for a few breaths. So that after we move through a pose, we're going to hold it for a little while. Again, while we're holding a seemingly still posture, start to notice the movement that is taking place within the body and those micro movements and micro adjustments that are happening throughout the body, right? The smaller muscle fibers, the muscles closer to the knees and the hips and even the ankles. Feel that movement taking place. Breathe as deeply as you can so that the breath continues to move freely. Take one more inhale to maybe lift the hips a little higher and feel this as a stretch on the front of your torso, but also the hip flexors and your quadriceps. And then take your arms slowly out from underneath you and roll the spine back down to the ground, one vertebra at a time. When your hips touch the floor, right, just like before, we're going to let the sacrum touch down after the lumbar spine. And now we're going to bring the right knee, just the right knee into the chest. You can kind of stand up onto the pads of your left toes here so that your left knee points a little more forward. For right now, we're going to clasp both hands around the right shin. Draw the right knee a little closer to the right armpit. Take a huge inhale into your right side, the right side of your lower belly, your right ribs, and the right side of your chest. As you exhale, engage in emptying all of that back out. Do that again. Take another deep breath in. As you exhale, push down with the pads of your left toes or your heel if you still have your heel on the floor. And draw the right knee in closer as you take that exhalation. Now bring your right knee all the way over to your right armpit. And this time inhale deeply to the right side of your rib cage. So your right ribs are expanding into the right inner thigh. As you exhale, draw the right knee in even closer to your chest. I'm sorry, even closer to your armpit. And then from there, we're going to take the inhale and extend that right leg all the way up to the sky. Just begin to circle your right ankle or your right foot through your right ankle, taking it slowly so that we start to feel that we have a larger circle and a more fluid movement through that larger circle, and then reverse it. Slow down the movement so that we're not skipping over the part of the circle that might need the most attention. But once you've circled around through your right ankle, flex the foot and point. Try to keep your toes separate as you do both of these. Really spread out the toes and enliven them so that we send those messages of movement all the way through the nerve endings today, all the way through the tips of the toes, even the tips of your toes working out here. Good. Cross your right ankle to the top of your left thigh now. Keep your right foot active, right, and the toes still spreading open. Take an inhale and move the right knee away from the chest, and exhale, bring it in. Move it out a little further, and bring it in. And now let your joints in the pelvis also move. So your left hip will come up as your right knee moves away. And then as the right knee comes in, the left hip moves away. So see if you can get that full, and it feels almost like like a swivel movement, right? Right knee moves away, left hip comes in, right knee comes in, left hip moves away. Keep that going, do that a few more times. Loosening up the lower back, kind of massaging out that sacroiliac region of your spine. Take one more time on this side. Good, and then bring it back to a neutral position. Your right knee is going to be moving at a diagonal line away from the left shoulder. So we want as much space between left shoulder and right knee as possible. Then pick up your left foot. Take an inhale here. As you exhale, without bringing your right knee in close, we're going to bring the left knee in. As close as possible, without your right knee caving in, right? So you may want to just put your right hand on the right inner thigh. Make sure that the right knee isn't coming in any closer than it needs to. We're not pushing the knee away, but we're holding it where it already was on its own. And let's move through this. We're going to touch the left toes down on the inhale. The right knee is still away. Exhale, bring the left knee in with a slight pressure on that right knee so that it doesn't cave in. Touch the toes of your left foot down to the floor on inhale, and exhale, bring the knee in. This time you may want to scoop the pelvis up off the floor if you want to use a little transverse abdominals. Few more times. Touch the toe down on the exhale, left toe down, and bring it in on the exhalation. Make sure your abs are strong. You can lift your sacrum off the floor if you'd like. 2 more. Inhale, knees move away. Touch the left toes down. Exhale, left knee comes in. The right knee continues to point to the right side of the room. 1 more time. Inhale, the knee away. And exhale, bring it in. Good. Keep that right knee pointing to the right. Clasp both hands around the left thigh. Or if you have a little more flexibility, both hands around left shin. Bring your forehead up to meet your right toes. Take an inhale here. Make sure that both shoulder blades are off the floor. Exhale, bring your forehead even closer to your right toes. Keep your toes activated. Your right knee continues to point to the right. 2 more breaths here. Breathing deeply into the back of your body and into your right hip socket. Strong exhalation to bring the knee in even closer. Take 1 final inhale here. Exhale, bring the knee in. And then release your left foot down to the floor. Release your right foot back down to the ground. Take an inhale here to extend your torso. Find that neutral spine on inhale. And on your exhale, scoop the pelvis up off the floor. And all we're doing here is just stabilizing that lower back area. So 2 more like that. Inhale, sacrum down. Exhale, scoop the sit bones toward the knees as the abs engage to lift the sacrum while the small of your back is on the ground. 1 last time. Take your inhalation. Let your back arch as much as it wants to comfortably. Exhale, scoop the pelvis up. Abs are engaging. Good. Now we're going to bring the right toes gently to the floor so the right knee points a little further away. Draw the left knee in. Clasp your hands around your left shin. Root down nice and easy through the right toes, and you may want to even bring your right foot a little further away from the right sit bone. We're doing this to just open up that right hip flexor. As you exhale, bring the knee in closer, push down to the pads of your toes, and your heel can be on the floor as well, that's fine. As you take an inhale, breathe into the lower belly, left side mostly, the left ribs, and the left side of your chest. Breathe so deeply that it feels like, and really maybe this will happen, right, that the entire front of your body expands toward your thigh and the two touch. That's how deep an inhale you want to take. Exhale, engage in emptying out, and draw the left knee in a little closer. Root down more through the right foot to help you find that. And then bring your left knee in toward your left armpit. As you do so, you're going to take an inhale into the left side of your rib cage, expanding left ribs towards your left inner thigh, and all the way up into the left armpit, right? You still have ribs all the way up there. So get the entire left side of your body expanding towards your left thigh, left inner thigh. Exhale, draw the left knee in even closer. Push down through your right foot. Feel a better stretch, right? As you root down with the right toes, rather. Good. And then release your leg out. Extend the left leg up and begin to circle again through the ankle. Moving a little more slowly so that we have time to notice where the choppier parts of the circle are. We could spend more time circling through. Perhaps the circumference of the circle gets larger. And maybe the circle gets a little more fluid. Now reverse the circle and take it in the opposite direction. If your ankles are crackling like mine, this is good for it. Nice to do these full range of motion exercises when we're not weight bearing. Massage the joints and also to lubricate them. Now go ahead and flex your foot. Remember that we're spreading our toes as wide as possible, whether we're flexing or pointing. So even as you point, keep the toes activated. Flex and point. And one more time, flex and point. Keep those toes spreading. Good. Now place the left ankle to the top of the right thigh. Open that left knee up. And just as we did before, we're going to just swivel the knee. You can start by bringing just the knee into it, right? Closing it off for a moment and then opening it back up. And you'll start to feel how the pelvis just wants to get involved, right? So swivel the hips to the right hip moves more to the right as the left knee points to the left. And then just swivel in the opposite direction. And notice that on one side, it's looser than the other. And so just take your time with how you're moving through this side of that swiveling hip. right thing that we're doing right now. I have no idea what to call this, but it is just a massage for the back of your body. Try to get a little more movement through this joint. And if you find that your hands can help you find that movement, you can place your hands on the top of the pelvis and just move the right hip again as far away from the right armpit as possible as that left knee comes in. And then the right hip will come down, the left hip will descend as the left knee points away. Do that one more time. Good. And then bring your right foot up off the floor. In this position, again, we want the left knee to be tracking left. Left toes are alive. Spread them out just a little bit. Keep your left hand on the left inner thigh so that you know the left knees are going to cave in as we bring this in a little closer. Take an inhale, bring the right toes all the way down to the ground. Let your lumbar spine arch, let your thoracic spine arch, that's fine. As you exhale, bring your right knee in, press the lumbar spine down, thoracic spine down, and maybe, right, you lift the sacrum up in this position. Do that again. Inhale, right toes touch down, left knee moves away. Exhale, keep the left knee moving, pointing toward the left wall as you bring your right knee in. Inhale the knee away. And exhale, bring it in. If you'd like to, you can scoop the pelvis off of the floor or send that message to do so. Inhale, knee away. And exhale, bring it in. Inhale the knee away. And exhale to bring it in. One more time. Inhale that knee away. Exhale to bring it in. Now clasp your hands around the back of your right thigh. Keep the left foot active. You could reach through and grab your shin as well. Inhale to lift your shoulders up off the floor, shoulder blades up off the floor as well. Exhale, bring the knee in closer. Your left knee continues to point to the left. Abs are engaging, scoop the pelvis up if you'd like. Inhale deeply here. Exhale, bring the knee in a little closer, forehead toward your toes. One last deep breath in. As you exhale, maybe we go a little further with it. And then slowly release. Good. Bring your right foot down. Bring your left foot down. Take an inhale and extend the spine once again, letting the sacrum rise. Sacrum descend. As you exhale, now the sacrum will rise as the rest of your spine pushes down, except your neck, of course, pushes down into the floor. Inhale, sacrum descends, lumbar and thoracic spine arch away naturally and comfortably. Exhale, scoop the pelvis up, press the small of your back down. Each time we do this, try to get a little more range of motion. We want to be able to move our pelvis independently of the rest of our spine. Take one final exhale here, scoop the pelvis up. But now inhale, peel your spine. We're going to go in another bridge. This time though, we're going to add the arms. Reach your arms back toward the wall behind you as you float the hips up. Stay here. Exhale, root down through both feet. Reach your fingers as far away from your knees as possible. On your next inhalation, float the hips a bit higher. And then exhale slowly again. Your arms are going to come down. Articulate your spine even more dynamically and deliberately so that one vertebra at a time we're coming down. Keep the backs of your shoulders on the floor. Don't let those shoulders come up around your ears either. The slower you go, the more you're going to notice how much core engagement you need to articulate the last bit of the thoracic and lumbar spine. And then inhale, let your abs relax. Let your spine extend. Allow the sacrum to touch down. Exhale, scoop the pelvis up again. As your hips rise, let your hands start to rise. And then continue to peel your lumbar, your lower thoracic, your mid-thoracic. And as the spine is coming up, your arms are reaching a little further back. Shoulders are still away from the ears. Come all the way up onto the backs of your shoulders. Make sure you're on the back of your head and not on your neck, right? So your chin is up. Take your exhale, root the soles of your feet into the earth. Take another inhale, fingers and knees reaching away from each other. Again, you could come up onto the pads of your toes just to feel that a little differently than we may normally. On your exhalation, if you want to be on your toes, stay on your toes. And start to roll your spine Again, as fluidly as possible, one vertebra at a time to the best of your ability. Abs engaging so that we're not just dropping the pelvis down. But first we're placing the lower thoracic, then the lumbar, and then the pelvis. Just one more of these today. Take your inhale, find that length. Exhale to scoop the pelvis up. Point your sit bones towards your knees. Activate your abs even more than you have already. Inhale, arms and spine. Peel off the floor slowly, fluidly and gracefully. A beautiful wave-like motion. Stay there. Take your exhalation. And notice that even though we're holding here, there's still quite a bit of movement taking place. Please allow that to happen. Inhale, reach and push down through the soles of your feet and the backs of your hands. And with a strong, long exhalation, roll your spine as slowly and as gracefully and as deliberately as possible back down to the floor. The lumbar spine will come down. Even if this is something that you feel you cannot do, keep working in that direction. Don't give up after one repetition. Because every time we do this, you're going to find a little more range of motion. And that range of motion is what restores the freedom in our body and restores that youthfulness, right? As you take an inhale here, make sure your chest is open. Let's reach our arms out to either side of the room. And take an inhale to expand into your chest here. As you exhale, we're going to point both knees over to the right, and then we're going to roll all the way onto our right side body. At this point, I'm going to have you take a pillow, if you have one, and place it underneath your rib cage, your right ribs, so that your right shoulder is hanging off of that pillow. All right? And then from there, you're going to bring your left arm. You can keep your ear on the floor. And by the way, if you have a second pillow, you can put a second pillow underneath your head here. Just if that bothers your neck to not have a pillow. Hopefully you guys have some pillows around you. All right, so from there, there's a space between the one pillow underneath the ribs and the other underneath your head because you want to have that shoulder just releasing downward. All right, and then with the knees stacked now, we're going to bring the knees in fairly close to the chest. Take an inhale and start to bring your left arm. So first of all, we're going to reach the right arm as far to the right as possible. We're going to bring the left hand to hopefully rest on the right hand. And then reach even further as you bring the arm up. Take an inhale here and open up as much as you can without rolling off of that bolster. Do that much again. Closing down on the exhale. And inhale, lift the left arm up and rotate open. See how close you can get the back of your left hand to the ground. We're not rolling off of this bolster though, right? So do that one more time. Inhale, open up. So it's not about getting into a full spinal twist here yet. You will feel this as a spinal twist, but we're not rolling onto our back at this point. Now hold here, stay here and breathe here. This is a pretty awesome stretch. If you can find it with that little bit of bolstering. You want to feel this across the front of your left shoulder, definitely through the pecs on the left side, from the sternum to the left fingertips even. And you may find that instead of bringing your hand down to the floor and letting it rest there, that you just want to reach even further so that you get even a better stretch in the chest. This is one of the best pectoral stretches that I have found without, again, needing to do some weight bearing or being in a deep back bend. So just take your time, breathe here, breathe into the striations. Again, we are holding this pose, but notice that the breath is moving into this stretch now, and that the muscles are receiving this stretch. There's the micro adjustments taking place, micro movements that are taking place. Notice those. Huge breath in as you take one final inhale here. As you exhale, see if maybe your left shoulder can descend, left shoulder blade rather can descend a little closer to the ground. And then let's take the arm up on an inhale. Close it back down, left hand on right hand for your exhale. Take an inhale now into this left side body, from your left hip up to your left armpit. And as you exhale, hug your right ribs away from the pillow. Take an inhale and begin to take this left arm over your left ear, and now circle a full range of motion through the left shoulder girdle. Take this slowly, please, especially because our shoulders have done a lot for us through the years and will continue to support us through the years. If once in a while we can just be kind to them, right? Most of us have some type of injury or scar tissue here. Many of us have endured surgery around this area. Go ahead and reverse that circle. Please be kind. Slow the movement down. Make the circle larger and more fluid, just like we did through the ankle a moment ago. And once you have taken those full range of motion circles through the shoulder, we'll do one more time to bring the left arm right up over the left shoulder, left arm up over left shoulder. Then your right arm is still just resting on the ground, and then bring the left arm all the way over your left ear toward the floor in front of or above the crown of your head. Good. Take an inhale to bring it up, and now reach it as far away from your left ear as possible. You may need to adjust that pillow underneath your right ear. Do that again. Inhale, left arm comes up and all the way over. Pull the left sit bone away from your left fingertips as you lengthen, so you feel a stretch from your left hip all the way up to the left fingertips. Inhale into that stretch while you hold here. Puff up the left ribs. On purpose, puff your left ribs toward the ceiling. Feel that movement increase. Exhale from the right ribs. Good. Inhale into left ribs again. Bring your left arm up. And exhale, reach your left arm away from your left ear. Push your right ear into that pillow. And bring the left shoulder as far away from your left ear as possible. Keep your fingers, left fingers, reaching away from left ear. Breathe into the stretch that you're feeling now, hopefully from the outside of the left shoulder all the way up the left side of your neck. If you feel like you can increase that stretch, lift the hand a little further away from your hip. Reach the fingertips even further away from the shoulder. If you're getting a little nauseous here, it just means we're letting go of some tension. Please you can even, I really like doing this stretch and massaging the muscle while I'm doing it because my neck muscles are always, right, really tight. So if you want to reach up and just massage your own neck muscles here in this position, I highly recommend it. And I also recommend a deep, deep breath, right, into those upper traps, right, reach back there. You can feel there's a lot of tension there, I would think, for all of us right now. So go ahead and massage out those muscles a bit. Good, and then one more time, let's take that left arm all the way out to the left, and this time we will go off of the bolster. Take the bolster out from underneath you. You can keep that pillow underneath your neck if you'd like to. I'm gonna take mine out because my pillow's too large, right? So open the chest up toward the sky here, and now take an inhale. Make sure your arms are just slightly below your shoulders. Take an inhale in this position. As you exhale, bring your left knee in even closer to your chest and extend your left leg straight. Take your right hand to your left hamstring and push your left hamstrings into your right hand. Now there's a lot that will happen here. You're going to feel like the whole pelvis just shifted away from the rib cage. Pull your left sit bone a little more towards your left knee. Keep pushing really strongly with the left leg. We're not trying to bring the left leg close, we're actually trying to move the left leg further away. There's also a stretch that's happening here in the right shoulder now, and the right side of your neck. So with the left arm still reaching out, please turn your head to look over your left shoulder. Draw the left shoulder further away from your left ear. Again, feel this really nice stretch down the left side of the lower waistline. We're getting a nice stretch on the other pose, right? And the other pose on the left side of your rib cage. But now we're stretching out the left side of the lower waistline, left side of the lower belly. Take another strong exhale here. Really, really see if you can maybe bring your left ear closer to the floor. Feel an increased stretch on the right side of your neck. Again, you may want to reach over and just massage up the right side. Giving yourself a little opportunity there. Don't forget to keep the left leg really strong. Take one more exhale here, and whatever way you are feeling this, please take one more inhale now into that stretch, into the feeling of openness, and then release the straight work that we're doing with that left leg, but keep it straight if possible. Now reach down with your left hand. You're going to grab the top of your right foot, and you're going to bring the right heel toward your left sit bone, if possible. You can always just bring it into right sit bone. But maybe we can bring it over a little further. Now, if you were to look down, you would see that your right knee is pointing at a diagonal. If you're already feeling the stretch, keep your knee there. If you're not feeling it yet, move the knee so that the knee points more directly from your right hip down toward the one end of your mat, right? The lower end of the mat. That's up to you though, and that's depending on your level of flexibility. You're gonna take a hold of that foot, kick your foot into your hand gently. Don't pull on the foot, kick the foot. Then engage your right glutes, engage your right hamstrings, and press the inner knee, the outer side of that knee down into the ground on purpose. And again, if that causes you any tension in your knee, back off of that. But make sure you're feeling your quadriceps, the front of your right thigh stretching. Hold here, breathe here, open up the chest here. Keep your feet activated as well. This should feel like a really wonderful stretch on the right quadriceps. Turn your head once again to look over your left shoulder. Breathe into the stretch on the right side of your neck. Now release all of that. Stack those knees again and roll over onto your back. Draw the knees into your chest, and just as we did at the very beginning of our practice, rock side to side. Good. After rocking side to side a few times, take both knees over to the left so that you are now going to be lying on your left side body. You're going to take one of the pillows underneath your left ribs. You're going to take a pillow, if you'd like to, underneath your left ear. You're going to make a space between those two pillows for your left shoulder to rest without any compression. All right, and so from there, again, you can just make sure that you do have a nice positioning with that lower pillow so that it doesn't feel like it's hurting you in any way. Right? And then from there, we're going to start with the left arm reaching out from underneath you as far to the left as possible. Your right hand will come to the left hand. Your chest will open, but your knees are going to be in fairly close. So take an inhale to lift the right arm up. Open as far to the right as possible. And then bring it back in. Each time we do this, go a little further, right? Just like we did on the other side. Inhale, right arm comes up. Keep opening up as far to the right as possible. This should feel really good, and you're not rolling off of your bolster quite yet. And back to center. One more time. Inhale, open it up. And exhale, close it back down. Good, and then inhale, bring the right arm and open it up. And now hold it. And you may want to, at this point, shift the ribs a little more to the left side of the bolster, so that as you roll over, you have the support of the bolster. Your right hand may touch the floor, but you may want to keep it up so that you can feel a better stretch on the right side of your pecs, from the sternum to the right shoulder. You want to feel a stretch on the front of the shoulder and maybe even through the biceps as well here. It should feel really, really good. Breathe into that. Your gaze is up right now at the ceiling. And you're breathing as deeply as you can, reaching your right arm as far to the right as possible. Allow your right shoulder blade to come closer to the floor. Take one more deep breath in. Feel how your breath facilitates movement within the body and movement of tension out of the body. So keep the inhale and the exhale active. One more exhale to wring out. And one more inhale to breathe into all of that space. And then exhale, we're going to bring the right hand over, stack it on top of the left. Take an inhale here into your right ribs now. As you exhale, making sure that you've got all the support you need. You may need to juggle that around a bit with the pillows and the bolsters. As you exhale, we're going to hug the left ribs in and up off of the bolster. Now, adding on to that, take an inhale and reach your arm through the shoulder socket. Moving slowly. This shoulder may be more fluid or less fluid, right? So we're moving slowly. We're not assuming that the left arm and the right arm and the left shoulder and the right shoulder are similar in any way. So take it slowly, get to know this shoulder. And when you are ready, you can reverse the circle. Take at least 3 in the opposite direction. And as you move slowly, make the circle as large as possible. Retracing the circle and maybe making it larger each time you move through that full range of motion. Good. And now bring it over your head so that your thumb is touching the floor behind the head. Take an exhale here again, arch away from the bolster below you. Inhale into this right side body. Draw the right sit bone as far away from your right fingertips as possible. On your next inhale, really puff up those right ribs. Expand your right ribs to the ceiling. Don't take a 1-second inhale, take a 5 or 6 or 7-second inhale so that you have time to really feel this lengthening. Meanwhile, your right sit bone is reaching away from, really the top of the right side of your pelvis is moving away from your right ribs. So you feel a stretch from the hip all the way to the fingertips. Take one more inhale here, really puff up those right ribs. One more exhale to arch away. Feel the left side of your body engaging easily. And now we are going to roll over, sweep the arm over to the right, roll off of the bolster. And I'm going to take that other pillow out as well. That's up to you as how that feels on your neck. After you roll over your knees, it will still point to the left. Your chest is opening and your arms are reaching out from the shoulders. Extend your, extend your top leg straight. Hold on to your top thigh. Your left hand is going to hold on there, and then you're going to push your right thigh bone into your hands. Feel how that stretches out your lower back. Take your right arm out to the right. This is like you get to give yourself a Thai massage here. You're going to turn your head to look over your right shoulder. And you're going to give yourself a little massage there on the left shoulder if you like. As you breathe, make sure that you are still pushing your right leg into your left hand. Turn your right ear as far away from your right toes as possible so that your right ear is getting closer and closer to the floor. And again, remember, we're not trying to bring the foot in close at all. Keep the leg moving away from you so that we're not feeling any pinching in the right hip flexors. We're just feeling a nice, really beautiful stretch along the right side of the body here. Taking one more inhale, really turn your head, see if the right shoulder can move further away from your right ear as well. Good, and then release that engagement of your right leg. With your right hand, you're going to reach down and grab the right foot. I'm sorry, that would be your left foot now. And as you draw the left heel in, start with your left heel coming to the left sit bone. If you're not feeling very much on the front of that thigh, then start to bring the knee in so that your kneecap is pointing down toward the bottom of your mat rather than in diagonal, right? Okay, from there, and by the way, you can bend your top knee if you need to. From there, you will start to bring the greater engagement into the back of your thigh. So feeling this again, the outer knee is pressing down, the glutes are engaging, the hamstrings are engaging, and the chest is opening. Feel this also as a stretch across your pecs as the right shoulder blade descends more fully into the ground. Feel all of those micro movements again. As you continue to kick your foot into this hand, Make sure that you don't feel any straining in your knee at all. If you do, you're going to have to back off of that, and you have to negotiate that with your knee, right? Is it because you're pulling down with your thigh too much, right? Or is it because we're engaging the glutes, or because we're not engaging the glutes, right? So play with that. Look at how that feels. Breathe to the feeling, and if you need to make adjustments, make them. Right? Take one final exhale to wring out one more time. And then slowly release your foot. Roll onto your back. Bring the knees into the chest again. And rock side to side. After rocking side to side a few times, we're going to take both hands to both knees and just rotate the thigh bones independently of each other through the hip sockets now. Just like we've done through the ankles and the shoulders, massaging out the hips as well. And then reverse the circle and take it in the opposite direction. Please keep breathing. And please allow the pelvis. We've also massaged out the sacroiliac joints and all of the joints. You know, your spine is one long series of joints. So we did spend a lot of time massaging out that part of the body as well, and those joints as well. Good, and then go ahead and extend your legs out beneath you. Shake the legs out here. Take your hands now, just let your legs relax. Take your hands back behind your head. Lift your head off the floor, and then let the weight of your head, the full weight of your head, drop back into your hands. If your biceps are not contracting, your head hasn't fallen back into your hands yet. Your head is heavy, right? So let your biceps support you rather than your neck muscles. Take an inhale. As you exhale, with your legs still straight and extending below you, you're going to lift up so you feel your abs working here again. Notice how your neck will take over. No matter how long you've been doing this, your neck will take over. So you've got to decide to let your head fall back anyway. Now lift your shoulder blades up off the floor without pulling your head forward. Head continues to fall back. Shoulder blades up. This is where we really get to feel the difference between working our abdominal wall and working our neck. We're working our neck just a little while the abs finally get to work a lot rather than the other way around. So again, let your head weigh heavy. Let your biceps give you that sign. Yes, I feel that full weight. Keep your arms working. Lift your shoulder blades, not your head, your shoulder blades higher off the ground. Hold there. Feel your abs really, really firing. Let your neck relax. Let your head fall back into your hands again. One more breath like that. And release. Good. Keep your chin as far away from the soft part of your throat as possible. Take a full breath in here. As you exhale, just spread your body out, and please notice right away how you are feeling. Notice any tingling that you didn't feel before, right? Notice any lightness of being that wasn't there an hour ago. Notice any feeling of flow in the body where maybe there had been some resistance or some blockages in the body. And then I want you to look specifically with your own mind's eye, with your own inner gaze. Look for places that feel bound up, that still feel like there's tension there. And when there's tension, especially internally, there's not movement, there's no flow, there's actually no exchange even of energy or information within the body. And that's one of the places, if you're looking into or believe in Eastern medicine at all, it's one of the ways that we can encourage, let's say, disease or dis-ease happening in the body. So we want to be able to feel, especially at the end of a practice like this, after massaging a lot of our joints, massaging our spine, and bringing greater range of motion through the entire body, we should feel like many of those knots or those little fists of tension have released, at least a bit, right? At least a little bit. See if you can, with your mind's eye, unravel those internal granthis, internal knots. Just a little bit more. And then take a full body scan and see if there's any other part of your body that could use a little stretch. And please, in your own time and pace, take that stretch. It doesn't have to be a yoga pose. It can be a movement, but you decide for yourself what you need to do here to make sure that you have let go of even more tension. Once you do feel comfortable and you do feel relaxed and open, please stay in your Shavasana. You could prop up your feet. You could, if you need to, if you're cold again, you could take a blanket and place it underneath you or even over you. But do something that makes your body feel both supported and nurtured. I'd like to end our practice today with something I found this morning in one of my little groups I'm in. This is from Elena Bernabe, Indigenous Peoples Cultures, and this was posted yesterday. Quarantine is a special, mysterious, and sacred period. In my days, newborn children could only leave the house for the first time after their 40th day of life. It is a period of waiting and preparing for a new life. It is the period that produces a great change. Every morning, comb your long hair with dedication and untie all the knots, even the most hidden knots that you have always neglected. It is time to put all the knots in the comb. Dedicate yourself to untangling even your beloved one's knots. With patience, you will try to find the end of the skein, the exact starting point of the thread. Already with these simple but powerful actions, you will create order outside and inside of you. Undoing your physical knots, you will begin to touch your internal knots. After undoing these knots, remove all parts of you that are no longer fertile. In many funeral rites of ancient peoples, it is believed that the deceased leaves the body entirely on the 40th day after his death, or her death. In these 40 days, we eliminate everything that we have not worn, that we no longer want to use. We open the windows of the home well to let the stale air out. We cultivate new thoughts by abandoning the old. And we dedicate ourselves to creating new habits, new customs, and new traditions. Make a commitment to change and not forget. Untie your external knots, untie your internal knots. Make sure this storm shakes you up so much that it completely unravels you. Please take just a few more moments to rest here. Hopefully we untied a few of those physical knots, and maybe we started to loosen some of the more internal knots. Feel free to rest here for as long as you would like. If you would like to, you could sit up, bring your hands to your heart center, or stay in Shavasana and bring your hands to your heart center. Just as a final salute to yourself and to the divinity and the heart-centered practice, right, that we just completed. Thank you so much for being here this morning. Have a wonderful rest of your Friday. Namaste.